So don't just fall out at the sea.
We're on an Army duck boat. World War II. Used to storm the beaches of Normandy, Omaha Beach,
Waiting for you.
several other beaches.
The beaches of Cheyenne.
One more. Go to the front.
There you go.
Where you gonna go?
Yeah. How about you? I'm confused. Are you confused?
I'm confused.
I don't know what the does are about. This is supposed to show us. Maybe our nice driver will tell us. This is our general.
Alrighty guys, who's ready for a duck ride?
Yay!
Not bad from some of you, pretty terrible from others, but you know what, I'll let you slide. It's too hot for me to really raise a fuss. Alright, my name is Eric. I'll be your duck driver, tour guide, and swim instructor for the next hour or so. Now there are a few safety items we need to go over before we hit the trails. First thing is absolutely no smoking aboard today's duck ride. Reason being, we are situated above 45 gallons of well-ventilated gasoline, and well, these ducks do go on land and water, but we don't want to explode into the air today. So please, no smoking. Pretty simple, right? Also, if you'd like to keep anything after today's tour, whether it be your hands, arms, legs, heads, small children, anything at all, keep those inside these tan bars on either side as we're out on the trails today. We'll be getting pretty close to some branches and some trees, and I'd hate to see anybody lose or gain a limb out on the trails today. Now, once we're in the water, it's a totally different story. You can feel free to splash around all you'd like. It's pretty hot out here. Like, it's insanely hot out here. You might want to start a little water fight to cool off. Parents, just keep in mind, if your kids get a little unruly, they actually encourage you to grab them by the ankles and dunk them in head first a couple times. It usually quiets them down pretty quickly.
Yes.
Now, I'm also required to show you where the nearest emergency exits off of this duck would be.
Off the side.
Huh, right off either side, right? Pretty simple, you won't need to know that. But I'm required.
We're off to Never Never Land.
Is it on?
It's on.
I'm stuck in a duck jump.
You're ugly too.
Once again, welcome aboard the Dell's Army Ducks. Today you're riding aboard the amphibious duck, Huckleberry Finn. Now, Huck Finn is about 60 years old, and unfortunately he's prone to break down from time to time, but have no fear, because off to our right-hand side is our trusty duck rescue squad. Off to our left is our duck barn, where we store our 17 fully operational quackers during the nighttime and winter months. We'll be hitting the trails here for a few minutes. It gets a little bit bumpy, so remain seated throughout today's ride and enjoy the tour. Coming up on our left-hand side is our first glimpse of Lake Delton. We will be splashing down in Lake Delton in just a few minutes. Off to our right is our very own private Lake Sally. Lake Sally is home to quite a bit of wildlife here during the summer, whether it be fish in the pond, birds flying above it, and there are actually plenty of deer and other wildlife in the woods that surround Lake Sally. Hopefully, if we keep our fingers crossed, there's a decent chance we might catch a glimpse of some of that wildlife yet today. Speak of the devil. Catch a glimpse of our splashdown point into Lake Delton today. But as you might notice, it gets a little bit narrow down there, so I'm going to ask for some help out of you guys. On the count of 3, as soon as we cross this road, I'm going to ask that everybody on the right-hand side of the duck quickly jump over to the left-hand side of the duck so we can pop it up onto 3 wheels, wedge it between those 2 houses around that clothesline, over that rowboat, skip off the water, over the dock, and make a nice, soft, gentle landing on Lake Delton today.
Woo! We're there for you.
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Ready. Let's do it.
We got floatage.
Alrighty guys, did we lose anybody? No, that's better than it was last time. Alright, we'll be on our way if you just reach underneath those seats and grab those oars. They should be right next to your seat belts.
We got coastage.
to Lake Delton. Now with this lever in between the co-pilot seat and the pilot seat, I just engaged, or disengaged, no I engaged, sorry, our 45-pound brass propeller. I just can't talk today, by the way. Now with the two levers out in front of the co-pilot seat, I just disengaged our 6 wheels. And actually, if you look off either side right now, you should see those wheels floating up to the surface. I see some of you are still looking. We'll need those wheels a little bit later, so I'm pretty glad that they stayed connected. Once again, welcome to Lake Delton. That was pretty intense, I know. Yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint everybody, but that was our maximum speed. Just over 6 miles an hour. Yeah, we were flying. Yeah, we could go about 45 miles an hour up on land, which is quite a bit better. And actually, a few ducks have been known to go as much as 280 miles an hour. But that was when they fell straight off the edge of a cliff. Now, we are powered by a 270 cubic inch inline 6-cylinder gasoline engine. And that engine churns out a whopping 95 horsepower. Oh yeah, it's a muscle car slash boat slash amphibious vehicle thing, let me tell you. Now we do weigh in at about 7.5 tons. We're 8 feet wide, 12 feet high, and 31.5 feet long. And oftentimes people say, you know, Eric, this can't be the most nimble or agile machine out there. But actually, well, they're right, it's definitely no sports car, but it wasn't designed to be one. These ducks were designed to carry cargo and men from ship to shore during World War II. And we do that very well. We can carry about 5,000 pounds in the area that you're sitting right now. We can tow an additional 10,000 pounds off the back of this duck in a specially designed floating trailer. And while carrying that 15,000 total pounds in weight, these ducks can actually climb a hill or a grade as steep as 60 degrees, which would be comparable, except for actually just a little bit steeper than climbing the side of an Egyptian pyramid. So if you can imagine that, it's really pretty incredible what these things can do. Also, most people don't realize that Lake Delton is a man-made lake. You can see the dam that was created back in 1937. Directly behind that yellow boat in the far shoreline, you see 3 white posts sticking out of the water, and just to the right of that, it looks like a bridge crossing over Lake Delton. That is Newman's Dam, named after W.J. Newman, the man who started this project way back in 1921. He had originally intended this lake to be a private resort lake for his family and friends, but, well, he got about halfway done with building the dam when the stock market crashed in 1929. Laid unfinished until about 1935, until a group of investors from the Dells area decided to quickly complete this dam and sell all the real estate that surrounded it to make a couple dollars. Well, they did so, and as you can see, this lake is here today. Now, the deepest point of Lake Delton is only about 19 feet deep. It's right out in front of that dam. The average depth of this lake, however, is only between 10 and 12 feet deep, which is very shallow. And the deepest point, or right here, I should say, it really is only about 7.5 feet deep, which means that the wheels of this duck are about 2.5 feet off the bottom of the lake. So the good news is, if we were to suddenly sink, you guys probably wouldn't even get your head wet. So that's always good to know.
We got to put the wheels back in action.